Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him, because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like, you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch.
Canelo Alvarez is taking no risks as he prepares for Terence Crawford. His training camp has been tougher than ever, with grueling sparring sessions, stronger defense work, and extra focus on the power punches that have dropped so many opponents before. The energy around him is different. This isn't just another title defense. For Canelo, this fight is about cementing his legacy, and he's training like a man determined not to be overshadowed.
That fight would be gigantic.
I'm trying to make all-time history.
Right. That's the one that gets you going. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I hear him now. You're too little. Canelo gonna break you. Yeah. I love the challenges. Let me prove him wrong once again.
Building on Canelo's intense preparation for Crawford, Joe Rogan pointed out just how tough and unusual that training really is. He raised the big question: does Crawford truly have what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez? Rogan admitted Crawford has a shot, but only if he fights with a smart and carefully planned strategy. His guest, Jim Lampley, added to the conversation by recalling legendary commentator Larry Merchant's take on Ray Leonard's win over Marvin Hagler. Leonard used movement, speed, and strategy to pull it off, and Lampley suggested that Crawford might need a similar formula if he hopes to overcome Canelo.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but he's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Okay, what kind of a fight? I'm going to get to that. I asked the great Larry Merchant, 94 years old, living on Ocean Boulevard in Santa Monica, looking out at the ocean, reflecting on all the amazing things he did. And I asked Larry, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over.
Hogan then pointed out what makes Canelo especially tough to deal with. Unlike most fighters who mainly attack the head or body, Canelo breaks opponents down by targeting their arms. He keeps hitting until their guard weakens and they can no longer protect themselves. Joe added that very few boxers use this approach today, and that's exactly what makes Canelo so dangerous in the ring.
Yeah. Canelo has such unique skills, and one of the weird things that he does that very few people since Rocky Marciano does is he punches your arms.
Yes.
He brutalizes your arms.
He's another brilliant guy. He has the greatest punch resistance in the sport. You know, we talked about it earlier. One knockout in the whole career.
Knockdown.
And it wasn't a knockdown. And it wasn't really a knockdown in my personal view. So
Jim also highlighted another key to Canelo's toughness, his legs. He explained that Canelo hasn't avoided knockdowns just because of a strong chin, but because of his incredible lower body strength. Those powerful legs keep him balanced and let him absorb punches that would drop most fighters. Then Jim shared a surprising personal story. Back when he lived near Canelo in Del Mar, California, he often saw Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, at the grocery store loading up on lean proteins like tuna and chicken for the champ. But what really stunned Joe was Canelo's unusual morning routine, horseback riding. Every morning, Canelo would spend 2.5 hours at an equestrian center practicing hunter-jumper exercises, guiding a horse over obstacles. It demanded balance, coordination, and tremendous leg strength. In the afternoons, he would switch gears into 3.5 hours of pure boxing work. Jim called this combination of horseback training for the legs and boxing for the upper body absolutely brilliant.
Touch the canvas. He's never been on the canvas, and we call it chin. And I think that we kind of missed the point by calling it chin. Because I used to be Canelo's neighbor in Del Mar, California. Used to run into Chepo, his senior trainer, at the grocery store. I'd look into the cart and say, "Oh, he's eating tuna." And he said, "Yes, and he's eating chicken." And so I also used to go down the hill from my house off of Via della Valle in Del Mar and watch him train at the equestrian center, where he would go to the equestrian center in the morning and do 2.5 hours of hunter-jumper riding before going to his gym in the afternoon.
Jim explained that Canelo's horseback riding wasn't just a hobby. It was a deliberate part of his training. Joe agreed, saying this might be the real reason Canelo is so hard to knock down. It's not just his chin, it's his foundation. The leg and core strength he's built from years of riding keeps him steady and unshakable in the ring. Clip 6. Not everyone sees it the same way. Amir Khan offered a rare perspective, since he's one of the few who has actually shared the ring with both men. He didn't give away every detail, but it was clear he was comparing their styles, from the size difference to the way each handles pressure in big moments.
To do 3.5 hours of boxing training.
Hunter-jumper riding? What is that?
Hunter-jumper is where you go over jumps and you...
With a horse?
Yeah. On the horse, yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that when you're training for a fight? What if the horse falls?
He was riding horses since he was a little kid. He was skilled enough to do it. You controlled the height of the jumps. You say set the jumps at 36 inches or 40 inches. You know what the horse can do. It's all about staying on the horse. And I asked him, how can you do that? And he said, everything I do in boxing is upper body, and everything I do on the horse is lower body. And on that basis, I am the one who theorizes that the reason you can't knock him down is not because of his chin, it's because of his legs.
His base.
You can't.
Khan pointed out Crawford's skill at staying sharp on the outside, making quick adjustments with his movement while conserving energy. But he also suggested this could be the fight where Crawford faces challenges we haven't seen him deal with before. The way Khan put it left some mystery, almost as if he's just as eager to see how Crawford will react once Canelo really puts the pressure on.
Canelo, you've been in the ring with both of them fighters.
I think I might be the only guys that's.
I can't think of anyone else that has, obviously, because there's a big weight disparity between the two. So
I think I'm the only guy that's been in with both fighters. So I'm thinking of maybe going there. I've been asked to go there and obviously give my input on the fight before they go in the ring. And obviously I know both fighters. Canelo's a friend now after our fight we had, and also Crawford had shared training camp with him as well. It's a good fight. Well, I'm not going to say too much.
Okay.
I'm going to save it.